Welcome to LMU Community TV News. I'm Elizabeth Manning and thanks for joining us. Let's take a look at the stories we have for you today. The Kentucky State Police have released a brief statement about a possible human skull discovered off of Philpott Lane in the Shields community in Harlan County. An employee of Phillips Tree Service found the skull Thursday morning. Detectives from KSP Post 10 received a call at 10:30 a.m. and went to collect the human remains. They have sent it to the State Medical Examiner's office in Frankfort. Detective Josh Howard is investigating the case. A common disease mostly found in kids is making its rounds this summer. Hand, foot, and mouth disease causes fever, rashes on hands and feet, and blister-like sores in the mouth. Flu-like symptoms such as cough, fever, or sore throat are also common. The virus usually only affects young children, however adults can be affected. Family nurse practitioner Michael Norman of Summit Express Clinic in Bearden is quoted as saying, "The rash is typically a lot worse with children. The older you get, the rash is not quite so pronounced. But now some of the other symptoms you get, the flu-like symptoms, it seems adults struggle with that a little bit more than children." Cases of the virus are spiking according to Norman. It is a virus that quickly spreads in daycares and schools. There is no cure for hand, foot, and mouth virus, but you can treat the symptoms and drink plenty of fluids. According to the CDC, to prevent the spread of hand, foot, and mouth disease, wash your hands often, especially before you eat. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth unless your hands are clean. Cover your mouth and nose with a tissue or sleeve when coughing or sneezing. And try to avoid close contact such as kissing, hugging, and sharing utensils or cups with people who are sick. The class of 2017 of the Physician's Assistant Program at Lincoln Memorial University, DeBuss College of Osteopathic Medicine, will celebrate its commencement on Saturday, August 5th at 10 a.m. at the Tex Turner Arena on the LMU main campus in Harrogate, Tennessee. The physician's assistant profession is one of the fastest growing health professions in the country and has been repeatedly named by Forbes magazine as the best master's degree jobs in the United States. A physician's assistant is educated in the medical model. PAs are nationally certified to work side by side with osteopathic and allopathic physicians in every medical specialty. PAs are licensed to diagnose illness, prescribe medications, and assist in surgery. They conduct physical exams, order and interpret medical tests, and provide counseling on preventive health care. A PA has at least 6 years of education, a 4-year undergraduate degree, and the master's level physician's assistant degree. PA students complete more than 2,400 of clinical rotations prior to graduation. Now let's take a look at your community calendar of events coming up over the next couple of weeks. Middlesboro's 3rd annual Wing Fling Festival will be August 5th from 2 to 6 p.m. in downtown Middlesboro on Cumberland Avenue. For more information, you can visit the Facebook page at www.facebook.com/wingflingmboro. Vet Serving Vets' 2nd annual Freedom Run will be August 5th at the city parking lot in Middlesboro during the Wing Fling Festival. There will be live music, door prizes, and vendors. Registration begins at 10 a.m. and the ride will begin at noon. The cost per rider is $10 and all the proceeds will benefit Vet Serving Vets. The Harrogate Book Station will hold a yard sale on August 5th starting at 8 a.m. at 310 Bristol Road. Any donation would be appreciated. All proceeds will go to the library. For more information, call 423-869-9777. The Tennessee Highway Patrol will be having driver's license roadside safety checkpoints on August 6th through the 12th on state routes 32, 33, 63, and 345 in Cave Springs Road in Claiborne County. Middlesboro Pizza Hut will be sponsoring Eat for P on August 7th from 5 to 8 p.m. The wait staff will be members of Friends of the Bell County Animal Shelter, and all the proceeds and tips will go to the FOS Pet Food Program for dogs and cats. A flyer must be presented to the Pizza Hut cashier when paying the bill. Indian Creek Baptist Church will hold their monthly singing on August 13th at 6 p.m. The singing will feature the Glory Road Boys, and everyone is welcome. The Springdale Volunteer Fire Department will be having its annual car, truck, tractor, and motorcycle show on August 19th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Springdale Elementary School. Admission to the public is free. There will be an entry fee of $15 for each vehicle. Vendors can set up a booth for a $15 fee. All profits go to the Springdale Volunteer Fire Department. For more information, call Doug Rolfson at 423-438-1787. That's a look at the LMU Community TV calendar, but stay with us as coming up after the break. Brandon Burke will let you know about high school football previews and more in sports here on LMU Community TV News.
What do we know about learning? It takes place beyond the pages of a book. We learn by exploring, by trying new things, by connecting, by sharing. We learn by taking chances and dreaming big. At Lincoln Memorial University, learning is beyond the books. It's everywhere.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic. So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Really? Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. It's good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit savethefood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Welcome back. As LMU Community TV Sports continues our preseason coverage of the upcoming 2017 high school football season, a campaign that is just on the horizon, it's time for the next squad in the tri-state area to be highlighted ahead of the hotly anticipated opening kickoff later this month. Earlier this week, the Generals of Lee High School were the first team from the state of Virginia to grab the spotlight, and we will keep it rolling in-state with the Generals' arch rivals, the Thomas Walker Pioneers. For TWHS, the Pioneers will be looking to shake off their disappointing 2016 run that saw only 2 victories next to 8 losses. Thomas Walker's struggles began immediately in game number 1 in 2016, suffering a 41-0 beatdown at the hands of the Generals of Lee before coming up short in their next 2 outings to start off the campaign with an 0-3 overall record. Although the Pioneers were able to squeeze out a 19-18 triumph at Rye Cove in mid-September, the Big Blue was ousted 5 times in their last 6 meetings, including their last 4. Thomas Walker will aim to be more efficient, especially on the defensive side of the ball in 2017. However, the Pioneers will have a rocky road ahead of them to begin the campaign, as road trips await TWHS to kick things off. West Green, Harlan, and Castlewood will play Thomas Walker in games 1 through 3 of 2017, and it won't be until September the 15th that the Pioneers have a chance to play a contest on their home field for the second time, facing off against one of the 2 teams they vanquished in 2016, the Rye Cove Eagles. Thomas Walker's increasing road-heavy schedule will loom the following 2 weeks, as the Pioneers must travel to Eastside and Pineville before their next home matchup on October the 6th versus the Indians of Hancock County. Back to the road, TW will go on October the 13th for the final road meeting of 2017 at Twin Valley before the Pioneers wrap up the season with their only stretch of back-to-back home games all season long, taking on Twin Springs and Burton from Ewing, Virginia. With a challenging road schedule ahead of them, Thomas Walker anticipates the 2017 regular season, aiming for unfamiliar territory, attempting to reach the postseason. However, simply more than 2 victories would be a step in the right direction. The Pioneers kick off the regular season on August the 25th. And as we get ready for the beginning of the 2017 high school football campaign, we also look forward to the opening kickoff in the South Atlantic Conference, as the SAC's Division II football regular season is not far ahead. 4 out of the 8 squads in the South Atlantic Conference will begin play on Thursday, August the 31st, and with that, the SAC's Media Day took place on Wednesday, effectively naming the preseason rankings for all teams in the conference. For the first time in school history, the Wolves of Newberry College emerged as the preseason favorite to repeat as the SAC champions, claiming its first conference title since 2008 last fall. The Wolves will have high expectations heading into 2017, as Newberry finished up the previous year's campaign ranked 16th in the nation, boasting a 10-2 overall record coupled with a perfect 7-0 mark in league matchups. The defending conference champions received 6 first-place votes from the SAC coaches and 55 total points from the panel. Sitting behind Newberry in the preseason top 8 poll is the Wingate Bulldogs with 47 total points, as a strong finish by Wingate of 8-3 in 2016 places them in prime position to possibly snatch the conference crown from the Wolves. The Lions of Mars Hill fell 5 points behind the Bulldogs for third place in the Media Day rankings, followed by Catawba at 4th, Carson Newman at 5th, and Tusculum at 6th. The Bears of Lenore-Rhine and the newest member of the South Atlantic Conference, the Limestone Saints, hold down the 7th position, tied with each other at 19 total points. In what's sure to be a wild chase for the top spot in the conference, the opening kickoff of the SAC's 2017 schedule is almost upon us. The Tennessee Smokies roll back into Kodak on this Friday evening, awaiting a 5-game homestand versus the Pensacola Blue Wahoos, finally gaining some sense of confidence back, the winners of a 3-2 series on the road in Jackson. Tennessee began the 5-game road set against the Generals seemingly in the worst position of the 2017 season, facing a brutal 6-game losing slide approaching Game 1 last Sunday. Although the Smokies were able to start the series off on the right foot, putting an end to that grueling losing slump with a close 4-2 victory, Jackson answered back emphatically the following day, blowing out the visitors to even up the series at 1-1 with a dominating 10-2 W. This would prove to be the story of the 5-game set, with neither team gaining a decisive edge over the other, both squads trading victories back and forth, both teams never grasping consecutive wins in the intense series. Going down almost exactly like Tennessee's previous road trip to Jacksonville, a series that saw the Jumbo Shrimp come out on top in a dueling series, sending the Smokies into their abysmal losing skid, Tennessee would emerge as the victors in Game 3 from Jackson by the score of 5-3. The Smokies' then 2-1 lead in the 5-game series wouldn't last long, however, as Wednesday's scheduled Game 4 in the back-and-forth battle would be forced to be held off until the following day, making way for a doubleheader on Thursday to send the series to its dramatic conclusion. As expected, the way the series was going, the Generals retied the 5-game set yet again in the first contest of 2 on the day, coming away with a 4-0 triumph in the shortened 7-inning matchup thanks to the inclement weather the previous day in Jackson. Suddenly, the Smokies' lead in the series was in jeopardy, as the visitors were seemingly on the brink of losing their 3rd consecutive series should the Generals keep it rolling in the final Game 5 later on in the evening. Thankfully for Tennessee, the Smokies closed out the series on a high note, coming away with a 7-3 victory over Jackson, putting the 5-game set to bed, although not without some troubles from the hometown club. After 8 innings of back-and-forth play, the story of each and every game of the series, the score stood deadlocked at 3-3 heading into the 9th period. Neither team was able to grab a hold of the tie-breaking score, sending the contest into an extra 10th inning, further increasing that tension between the two Southern League foes. That tension would not last long, however, as the Smokies immediately got rid of all doubt by smashing home 4 runs in the top of the period, then shut out the Generals in the bottom of the inning to return to Kodak, having won their first series since July the 17th. Tennessee now welcomes the Blue Wahoos of Pensacola into Smoky Stadium for Game 1 on this Friday evening, with plenty of work still left to be done. The Smokies stand at an even 20-20 overall in the second half of the 2017 regular season, tied with Jackson for the 3rd place spot in the division and 10 games behind the Chattanooga Lookouts for the top spot in the Southern League North. Tennessee will hope that this upcoming homestand versus Pensacola goes much better than the last 5-game home series, which saw an underwhelming 5 consecutive defeats at the hands of the Montgomery Biscuits, sending the Smokies into their plummet down the divisional standings. Game 1's opening pitch between Tennessee and Pensacola will commence at 7 p.m. on this Friday evening, followed by the same start time the following day for Game 2. 5:30 p.m. will see the approximate start time for Game 3 on Sunday, while Games 4 and 5 on Monday and Tuesday will both get underway at 7 p.m. To find out how the Smokies fare back home against the Blue Wahoos, you can visit www.smokiesbaseball.com. The 2017 NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series continues this coming Sunday, August the 6th, for the I Love New York 355 at the Glen in New York. The race, which will take place at the Watkins Glen International, will follow up the last race in the chase for the Cup, the Overton's 400 last weekend. The past 2 races in the Cup Series have seen long winless streaks come to an end, as it was Casey Kane who emerged as the victor in Indianapolis nearly 2 weeks ago, snapping a 102-race streak without a first-place finish, and the driver driver's first triumph of 2017. That trend would continue 1 week later as Kyle Busch became the first driver to cross the checkered flag at Pocono, putting to bed a 36-race winless slide, the longest of the driver's career for Busch's first victory at that track in Pocono. Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, and Brad Keselowski trailed behind Busch in the top 5 standings from Pocono as Clint Boyer, Daniel Suarez, Eric Jones, Matt Kenseth, and Chase Elliott rounded out the top 10 on the day. The chase for the Cup standings see Martin Truex Jr. as the leader, followed by Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, and Kurt Busch to make up the top 10, with the remaining 6 drivers concluding that list. The green flag will wave from the Watkins Glen International on Sunday at 3 p.m. on NBC Sports Network. And that is all for sports as we close out the week, but stay tuned as more LMU Community TV news is coming up right after this.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
One in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Thanks for watching LMU Community TV News. I'm Elizabeth Manning, and have a great weekend.